Hi there and welcome into INE Live. I'm your host, Kathryn Brown, and today we're diving into a brand new experience that INE just unveiled in the last couple weeks. It is called Skill Dive. You may have heard of it. We're super excited about it. And based on the rave reviews that we're already hearing from students, you are going to love it. Epic and amazing. I kid you not. Those are words that I just got from someone who reviewed it in an email. They sent it to me just a couple days ago. Just some of the words that are being used to describe Skill Dive as people get in and start exploring and using this new platform. So we're excited about it. We're jumping in today to show you exactly what it is and how you can get the absolute most out of it. Here with us today is Tracy Wallace, Director of Content here at INE and all-around tech genius. We love having Tracy on, no stranger to INE Live, and we are just thrilled to have him here today to give Skill Dive a test drive. Tracy, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kathryn. I am so excited to be here, and I am legitimately very excited about this product because it's fun. So, that's it pretty much. I'm done. This is a fun product. You should use it. No, I think we're probably going to talk a little more, but the reality is, that kind of matters. You're going to come in, you're going to use this, and you're going to like using it.
Tracy's been bebopping around the office for weeks now since we started unveiling this, just ready to go, chomping at the bit to get this rolling. So, Tracy, for those who don't know, let's start with just what this is, Skill Dive. It's a new product, but really this is something that INE has been working on and investing in for years.
This is something that both in terms of what INE is, at the heart of INE, if you will, the DNA of INE, it is about hands-on learning. I've been in the IT training industry for longer than I'm going to admit. And look, couple things that you need to know. First of all, everybody needs hands-on training, right? And second of all, people learn differently. And what we're doing with Skill Dive is we're giving you this idea of learning without limitations, right? Where Skill Dive it's labs. It comes down to, yes, it's labs, but it's so many labs, but more than that, it's about discoverability. It's about being able to find the hands-on experience that you need when you need it to get the learning and the understanding that you need in that moment, as well as part of your broader development and just personal growth story and also company growth story. So it's a lot of things. At the heart of it, it's labs. It's something that we've been doing at INE since INE was first created, right? We've done recently a 20-year celebration and had the amazing Brian McGann talking about it. And what really started out INE was you needed this space to do some hands-on learning, to do some hands-on preparation for some of these insanely difficult Cisco exams, right? And so it really built from the very beginning. So this is something new, but just like Kathryn said, just like you said, Kathryn, it's not something new for INE. And it's such a great direction that we're taking. A little excited about it. Sorry if I'm going a little bit long there.
Tracy, I love your passion. That is what makes you you and what makes us so lucky to have you. So, Skill Dive is a standalone product, right? It is separate from the subscription service that INE offers. It's extra training, to your point, but it's more than that because it rounds out what we're able to offer students. And at INE, as we kind of build the next gen training, right? We kind of go with this formula of learn, practice, assess, right? Learn with INE training, practice with Skill Dive, and assess with Skill Sonar and certifications. That's an assessment tool. We'll get into that in a bit. But this formula of learn, practice, assess, it really rounds everything out. And Skill Dive gives students access to something completely different than they could get through an INE subscription or any place else in the market for that matter. What is it that makes it so unique?
So there are a few things that make Skill Dive really unique right now and a really powerful offering. The first thing, I want to take a step back and, on the one hand, and you're absolutely right, Skill Dive is a standalone experience for you. It really is. You could go into INE and you could go into Skill Dive and never go into anything else and get a really satisfactory, really satisfying experience. But beyond that, one of the things that we're doing, and one of the things I'm really excited about Skill Dive about, is that we're looking at a learning roadmap comprehensively. Kathryn, you mentioned a few different things. We've got just tens of thousands of instructor-led videos that are on our platform. We have thousands of labs that are on our platform. We have skill sonar for assessments. We have certification exams. What we're doing is we're looking at all of this comprehensively, and we're building out a roadmap to say, what are the things that are important for somebody's role as they progress through their IT careers and experiences, as organizations and companies say, hey, we need these skills, right? We're identifying those and we're saying, okay, we have these options. What are the best ways to provide that learning experience for our clients, for the individuals, whether they're business to business folks coming in through a company, whether they're straight individuals coming through business to consumer and just need to learn. How do you learn? We're not going to force you to learn one particular way, because we're going to say, here's the information we need. Here are the best ways to present it. And that's where Skill Dive really fits into this overall picture. But beyond that, I mentioned the fact that we have thousands of labs that are part of Skill Dive already. And one thing to note, this is just going to keep growing. Right? We are going to end up with thousands upon thousands of labs that are in Skill Dive. We're going to have labs that are on the most current topics that you need to learn about. But one of the great things about Skill Dive and what went into this, and it was really a lot of fun watching, and I'm literally in awe of our product design team, but so much attention was paid to user experience and to discoverability, right? You go onto a platform and you say, you know what? I want to learn about something. Well, how quickly and how effectively can you get to that something? And how can you see those things that are right around it? And look, we are right out of the gate with this, and this is only going to improve. But I think you'll find that the user experience, that's a term that's thrown around a lot, but it's so applicable here, of getting in and finding what you need to learn is going to be unparalleled as you go through Skill Dive. And then you're going to go and you're going to do these great labs. I don't want to downplay the labs themselves, but I think the real key here, the two real keys that make Skill Dive super powerful right now, is the fact that we're looking at this holistic approach to learning, and we're looking to get you to the learning that you need as efficiently and as quickly as you possibly can.
So much of what you said resonates with me, and I have to say, as a little behind the scenes story, every time I hear Skill Dive, I just kind of smile a little bit, because I think back to a few months ago when some of us from I&E were sitting around the conference table downstairs, and we've got coffee cups crumpled everywhere, and we're trying to find a name for this, right? And we're trying to find a name for the product, and we're thinking, and we're like, what can we, and we're going through so many options, and we had the big whiteboard out, and we're and I think Skill Dive really is such a great name, because it is a deep dive, right? It is a deep dive into what we offer, but it allows people, it allows students and professionals to go beyond and get to the next level and guide themselves. And I just, every time I think about that, I just have to laugh, because I think we hit the nail on the head there with the name. All right, top features, and then we're going to get to the demo in just a second, but I know you're very intimately familiar with this, Tracy. Top features, in your opinion, what are your favorites?
I think the biggest things for me, and I've mentioned discoverability, and we're going to take a look at that, the ability to quickly find what you're looking for, and the ability to get a lot of information about what you're looking for. Now, one of the things that we do within Skill Dive, right? It's one thing to get that point information, but a lot of times you want more than that. And what we've been just almost unspeakably intentional about are defining Skill Dive collections, right? And these are groups of related labs, and it could be something that's a very small topic where maybe we've got 5 or 10 labs. There could be something that's a big topic where we've got 20 or even sometimes more than that labs, but they are focused on a particular topic, on a particular concept or technology, right? And so I mentioned before, I think BGP, and if you need to learn BGP, which I need to learn BGP, so it's kind of top of mind. I know it, but I don't know it as much. I'm going to when I'm done going through Skill Dive. But when you need to know a topic, we're going to have a highly curated list of labs that are going to be associated with that topic that you can go through and get that really comprehensive bit of learning. Now, I know that may not seem like a feature, but I think it is. I'm going to show you the cool stuff. And there's a lot of cool things in this interface. I think it is undeniable the amount of design work that went in from our truly amazing design team here at INE. And you're going to be able to see, oh, okay, this like I said, it's kind of fun. It's frankly visually appealing, and I have no visual design skills whatsoever, but it's a neat environment, lots of cool features. But when it comes down to it, the fact that you're going to be able to find what you want very quickly, and you're going to be able to find sets, these collections of related information. And we have made a very strong effort to surface as much of the metadata, as much of the information about the labs, right? So you get a good idea of the lab you're taking before you take that lab.
All right, let's look at it. Let's get into it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to full screen here. I'll be looking off this screen. So this is a standard login when you come into your my.ine. And over here, Skill Dive. Now, if you don't see Skill Dive, as Kathryn mentioned, this is a separate product, right? And so all kinds of information on how to get Skill Dive if you don't have it. But it is a fantastic product. And now I'm in Skill Dive. That was easy. And we have our, I believe the design term here is our hero banner. This is, hey, these are the things, most times these have just come in, right? These are the labs. And you can see a few things here as they flip through. Clearly, of course, we've got the title of the lab. We've got a brief description of the lab. And you see other things. When did it come in? What is it? This one here, cybersecurity. It's advanced. And we're estimating it's going to take you 30 minutes to complete this lab. Okay, now for demo purposes, the banner up here is cool, but it is kind of rotating a bit fast. Right? And so then we're going to come down here and we have our featured collections. Oftentimes these are collections that are brand new. And actually, if you look up here, you can notice when these were added. And so this is super fresh. And I don't believe I just said super fresh, but we're going to keep that. Right? And I've got when it was, and then you can see, okay, here's the collection, Windows Security Privilege Escalation. Okay, this is novice and it's cybersecurity, and you can see a description of that collection. Now, I'm going to come back to this page and we're going to go and dive into individual labs, but let's take a look at a collection, because from a learning standpoint, this is a key feature. This brings you in and says, okay, here are the things that are related to this topic. And the topic, as you can see up front, right at the top of it, with some great wording, navigate the intricate terrain of Windows security. I'm not going to read that through, but there's a description. Now, even though this is already curated, you can search within this, right? So if I wanted to see something about passwords, I could search on passwords. And we're going to look at that in a moment. I can also sort. I've got a recommended sort. The recommended sort is the order that we've put these in as the curators, right? So we have a subject matter expert that's building this collection, and they've said, if you were going to go through this collection, this is probably the best way to go through these. You should note, every single lab is independent and self-standing. You don't have to complete a collection. You don't have to go in order. This is about helping you find the hands-on experience that you need in the moment as efficiently as possible. And we can also just go by names. All right, so within that, I've got the individual labs, and you see that these were all recently added. All right, we've got some basic information here. So here's a clear text password lab. It's under cybersecurity. It's a novice lab. And this one's kind of neat. And I want to point this out because if you get this, this may not be fully obvious, but I can click the more information and I get a description of the lab itself, which is pretty cool. Okay. Now, you might think, hey, I'm going to spend 20 minutes going through the interface and showing you every detail of the interface. I am showing you all the details of the interface, but it's not going to take 20 minutes. And that's the way it should be. This is simple. This should be simple. I've shown you most of the features of the interface. Now we do have, as you would expect, a search feature. So let's say I just want passwords. Put in password, right? Then I see that there are 3 of these. Now they don't all say clear text password, right? It's not in the title, but I can drill down and I can find information on this, where I can clear that and I can get all of them up here, okay? Now, in addition to this, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, okay? We are giving you recommendations, and that's something you're going to see throughout your journey, and it's something that we're working to make better and better within the my.ine platform. So, okay, you've learned this. Where should you go next? Sometimes it's obvious, right? If you're going through our content, if you're studying for the EJPT or you're studying for CCIE lab, then you know what? You're going to have a really well-defined learning path, and you're going to follow that through, and that's pretty standard. But that's not why everyone's learning, right? And we're really hitting this first in Skill Dive, saying, hey, you've gone through this, but here's some other things that our experts say are going to probably be important for you. Privilege escalation, right? You're already, looking at Windows security privilege escalation. Well, what about Linux, right? Makes sense. And then you could go and you could take a look at that collection, okay? And that is an awful lot of it. Now I can always navigate back to Skill Dive. And I do want to show you a couple of other things in terms of the Skill Dive interface. And again, a lot of time was spent to make this powerful and simple, okay? At the landing page, when you first get into Skill Dive, okay, you don't have to use our collections, okay? You don't want to go through a collection. You just want to find a particular topic. Let's say I mentioned BGP, okay? Well, here are all of our labs on BGP, okay? Now you can filter that, and I did a terrible job finding one because that's only at one level. Let's take that out, okay? Let's say that I'm interested in cloud, because I am very interested in cloud, right? Now I could just filter based on cloud. I don't have to do a search. I could do a filter and say, look, I am just starting out. I just want to see what's here for novice, right? And so then I can go there and I can filter that down, and let's say, for example, I wanted to create a virtual machine using Terraform. Okay, what if I wanted to see what that was about? Okay, exact same functionality there. Okay, where I've got, pretty simple, you're going to use Terraform to create an instance of a virtual machine, Ubuntu 20.04 in this case. Okay, so the cool thing is that's pretty much it. And that's the way it should be. All this power, pretty easy to get to. Let's take a look at networking. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the next step. Now, I'm going to take us into a lab. And if you're already with INE, you're familiar with our lab interface. And for now, that hasn't changed. Okay? And I say for now because things can always change. But, all right, I'm going to go in here to OSPF. Let's go with OSPF null authentication. All right, now, what I'm going through now are the Skill Dive labs. Right? These are separate from all of the thousands of labs that we have in our regular content. Okay? And so it's really cool. Let's say, for example, that you are learning OSPF. You could go through our standard content that we have on OSPF, go through the hands-on activities that are associated with that content, finish that out, and you want more hands-on activity, you can come over to Skill Dive and get more activity, different individual independent labs built on that same concept. And that, again, goes back to the fact that we're looking at having this really unified roadmap for our students, for the content that we create for you, so you can learn. So a couple things to remember about Skill Dive. It is new. It's got a great user experience wrapped around it, but at its heart, it's still our excellent labs that you're going to be able to go through, complete, and learn, right? But also keep in mind that this is just the beginning. Skill Dive as a product, as an experience, is going to continue to grow. But more importantly, this is just the beginning when it comes to content. we are going to be continuously updating the content within Skill Dive. We're going to be adding collections. We're going to be adding new labs into the environment. We're going to be rearranging labs, creating new collections based on the labs that are there to make it easier for you to find the best learning experience that you can. So I am obviously very excited about this, very excited about the product, very excited about what it means, frankly, as a learning experience for you, our clients, our potential clients, our learners, and what it means for us in terms of what we have now and how we can continue to build on this to create and iterate better products, better content continuously down the road. That's pretty much what I've got, Kathryn. If I missed anything, please don't let it go.
You know that I will hold your feet to the fire, Tracy, every time. But I think you did a great job. I think you are super fresh, Tracy. And, you know, I think you did a great job of explaining it. And one of the things that I love the most about this platform is I think beyond giving learners a chance to practice more and learn more, I think it's a great confidence builder, right? It allows you to get in there and just build your confidence and really just know your stuff and be able to demonstrate that. So very cool. Tracy, thank you for taking the time to demo that. I know that you're always open to feedback and people reaching out to you. You've got your social media handles up there on the screen. So anybody has any questions or comments on what Tracy said or his outfit, you can feel free to hit him up on social. And other than that, Tracy, that's it. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh man, awesome. Hey, Kathryn, thanks so much for running this. Always a pleasure to work with you. And thanks to all the people behind the scenes making these things happen. Not only INE Live, which is just an amazing production crew, but the team that built this out, can't say enough great things about them.
Ditto. All right, that's going to wrap up today's stream. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe on the social media platform you're using so you can always stay in the loop when we go live. We'll see you next time. Until then, have a great week.